Thank you for giving me your time and participating in my Girl Scout project. What does the word stereotype mean to you?
Stereotype to me means that there is a fixed facade or something that is someone perceives when they look at you, and they're like, okay, like this is what it's gonna, this person's this way or this person's that way, just because the way that you look or the way that you present yourself. But they don't really know you, they just give you a prefixed idea of who you are.
Being a female, have you ever been stereotyped for the type of sport you play?
Yes, because softball and baseball are kind of the same sport, but you know, softball, it's called soft, so they think that it's easy, when in all it's actually not easy at all. I've had baseball players say to me, softball is not that hard because the base paths are shorter. I've had soccer players say to me, oh, it's so easy, you just have to field the ball and throw the ball, like it's not as hard as what we do, we sprint the whole entire time. And they don't really know our sport, and so it's just, they kind of just think that it's an easy sport when it's actually very hard.
What advice would you give to a young lady who's being stereotyped?
For a young lady that's getting stereotyped, I would say that they should take it in, what they say, and let it roll off their shoulders, and stick to your roots, stick to what you know, and don't let what other people say to you bother you, because your whole entire life people are going to judge you, and just gotta let it go, because if you keep letting things bother you, you're just going to hurt yourself.
Okay, first question, what do you do for your job?
I am an executive manager for a government agency.
What does the word stereotype mean to you?
The word stereotype to me means somebody prejudging you or making an assumption about you because of your gender, your race, your age, your background, without really knowing you or grouping you and making an assumption about that entire group.
Being a female, have you ever been stereotyped for the type of sport you play or the position you hold?
I believe so. As an executive at my place of employment, I often attend meetings, the nationwide, statewide, or just local, where Latinas are the minority. Well, one, women are the minority, and two, especially Latinas. And I am in the younger, I guess, age group of those individuals that I interact with. So I think people stereotype me and look at me and make an assumption that I may not be experienced enough for the position. So I think, you know, stereotyping me for my age and my race and my gender.
How did it make you feel to be stereotyped?
For me, it makes me motivated. And I say that because I can choose to be angry about it or get upset about it, but that's not really going to accomplish anything. I say motivated because it just makes me want to work harder to prove that I can do the job that any other person can do, and that my age, my gender, and my race do not matter.
What advice would you give to a young lady who is being stereotyped?
I would say, one, more importantly, not let it define you, meaning don't let that bother you, let that motivate you to really want to achieve your goals, set out a plan for what you want to accomplish.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Detective Karen Whitman, and I work for the Los Angeles Police Department.
Thank you for helping me with my project.
My pleasure.
What does the word stereotype mean to you?
Stereotype means not taking the individual as a person. It's taking a group of people or a type of person and thinking about them only in those terms without taking the entire individual into consideration.
Being a female, have you ever been stereotyped for the type of position you hold?
I'm exceedingly fortunate in that I came onto the Los Angeles Police Department about 22 years ago, and things have really changed. There were some people that really blazed the trail for me to let me do the job, but I know that the job was a lot harder before I came here. But yeah, I mean, there's always been positions where they say you cannot do it because of your the hardest part is trying to balance